When I started off, I had borrowed a paddle from an uncle's and I had to pay 3,000 rupees. My mom and dad also weren't really at that point of time wanted me to play. Paddles get
Yeah.
expensive. I saved that money. I bought that paddle. At that point of time, it was the Invicta. From that stage to right now, if someone asks me for a paddle, I'm at that point where I can actually give him the paddle for free of cost. And so that is the journey.
Welcome back to Behind the Paddle. I'm your host, Rob Nunnery, pro pickleball player, and your behind-the-scenes guide to the stories shaping our sport. Today's guest is Harsh Mehta, one of the top pickleball players coming out of India, and the co-founder of Blaze Pickleball Academy in Mumbai. Harsh first picked up a paddle back in 2019 while studying through school and ultimately pursuing his MBA. Now, fast forward to 2024, he made the bold decision to walk away from a full-time engineering job to pursue pickleball full-time. We talk about what it's like to leave the safety net behind, how table tennis gave him a head start, and what it takes to grow a new sport in a country that's just starting to discover it and fall in love with it. Here's my conversation with Harsh Mehta. Harsh, welcome to Behind the Paddle.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you for inviting me here.
Of course. Ever since my first trip to India, I was always super impressed with you as a player, as a person. Outside of playing, you were doing a lot in India and Bombay to help grow the sport in terms of like coaching and getting more players, making them better. And I know we haven't gotten into this, but I know you have a strong table tennis background. So let's go back before pickleball. Let's go back to when you were a small Harsh, growing up. What sports did you play? How did you land on table tennis? And then we'll eventually get to pickleball, but let's start with your journey there.
Yeah. So before pickleball, I was a professional table tennis player, and so how table tennis got into my life, I'd like to bring that story up. So when I was 5, I was diagnosed with chronic bronchitis, or you can say a kind of asthma, like not the severe asthma, but
Yeah.
it's a kind of asthma which starts to take up in your body. So what happened was that I was diagnosed with chronic bronchitis, and the doctors gave a lot of different options for my immune system, for my lungs, for my respiratory organs to be developed quickly and more better. So
Got it.
what they suggested was to get me into a sport, either swimming or any racket sport, whichever suits my lifestyle and whichever is better for me. So my parents started off, trying different sports for me. Like they said, put him into swimming, put him into uh, cricket, or some kind of sport. So my dad used to play basketball, but he said that I don't want him to get into basketball. Let's try table tennis.
Sure.
So that's how So there's a club over here called Kharjim Khana where we were members. So that had table tennis tables and different sports. So we just tried out with table tennis, and luckily, it was an indoor sport. So the dust and the other particles and everything which might have hindered my health. So there was no issue if I play table tennis because it's an indoor sport. So that was a perfect fit for me. I started off when I was like 7 years old, and I used to play recreationally, learning a few things here and there, and I actually started loving the sport. I didn't play professionally till I was like 10. I played for 3 years, just
What
uh,
took you so long?
So, uh,
Just kidding.
so, so what happened was that where I was playing, the mindset was just to, come 2 days, play
Hmm.
for 2 hours, and that's it. But then, even my parents pushed me, like, you should try competing, try getting more involved in it, and it might work, might not work. Let's see. So I shifted my coaching to somewhere else nearby again, and over there the whole mindset was really different. Like, competition, practice, fitness, and that whole scenario actually got me going, thinking that yeah, I think I should take this up seriously, and I have the potential to do good in it. So from the age 10 to 11, I was just working hard, and that 1 year hard work actually paid off because I started playing competitions in that 1 year. And when I was 11, I became the part of Mumbai team for table tennis in under 12 category. And then I think from then onwards, I was just playing 4, 5, 6 hours straight, morning 2 hours fitness, and so the whole mindset was completely different in that whole uh, scenario. So I really enjoyed that part. And then from 11 to 14, I was continuously playing for Mumbai team, for Maharashtra team, for nationals and states. So, and we also came, so the Maharashtra state team, we came third in the national championships as well. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. So that was my journey for table tennis. That 5 years was really, path breaking for me as a player. And then, as everyone knows, the Indian parent mindset that studies always come first.
Back to school. Yeah.
So I left actually competing in 10th standard because of my board exams and everything. And then I actually, honestly, it didn't come back to me after my 10th. So I started focusing on my studies. I took science. So we have an option over here. If we want to take commerce or science, or So I took science, and again the mindset is that if you take science, you have to study 8 hours a day and 6 hours a day, and
Yeah.
go to different institutes to get training. So I did science in 11, 12, and then I was playing. I did play table tennis at that time as well. I played some DSOs here and there, but
Less
not
competitive,
less
less of like,
competitive.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, for fun and for games.
yeah.
And then I decided to take the path of engineering. So I had a choice in 12th. Should I
Parents
do
were
any?
probably pretty happy with that choice, huh?
Yeah. So once you take science, again you have two options. Either you become a doctor or you become an engineer.
Hmm.
So my choice was to go for engineering. And then I think after 12, 4 years, I was into doing engineering and studying, and again making friends here and there, socializing, working on it. But while doing engineering, I also did play table tennis, once, twice, thrice a week, like just to
Sure.
go out there, and because
Just have
again,
fun with it. Yeah,
yeah, have
because
fun with it.
you
I
did
can't.
it for so
Yeah,
long at a very
right,
highly competitive level where it's probably fun to just go play.
right. So
Especially
at
with how
that
good
point,
you are, you're probably
yeah,
lighting people up.
I couldn't leave the sport. Like there was no chance I'm leaving a
Yeah,
sport. So
yeah.
it's just in my veins now. I can't sit at home and continuously, read at a book or read on a laptop. And so that's something I couldn't do. So I always used to go out there and play. So yeah, while I was playing one day, pickleball got introduced in the gymkhana itself. And me and my friend, we were really intrigued, like what is this sport, and we
And it
should
was
go.
this inside, like on a hardwood floor with a temp
Yes,
net type deal. Cool.
yes, yes, yes. So when we started, when we actually went to try it out, we were told that every day when you come, if you want to come, there's a pile of, like, there was a pile of chairs kept on the court. You have to shift the chairs because there aren't many people playing at that point of
Yeah.
time. So you are going to have to do the hard work,
Yeah.
remove those chairs, remove those tables out, and then you can start playing.
Sure.
So so they
You had
they
to
did,
earn it.
yeah, you have to earn it, and they did give us a wooden paddle and a big ball with big holes.
Sure.
Go ahead, start playing.
What year is this, just for context?
This was 2019.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So 2019 we started playing, and I thought, yeah, I mean, I always like to play that tennis stroke because I was always
Yeah.
impressed how people open their arms and hit a ball that long, because
Yeah.
we are used to short
Pretty
actions and
short. Yeah.
yeah, pretty short and quick. So I really enjoyed it. And then again, it was again like first few months we were like just figuring out what's the sport.
Was it
Coming
just
in,
you and a friend, or did you have a
there were people.
foursome?
Yeah,
Okay, there
there
were
were
people.
there were people. Yeah, there were
Okay.
people.
All right.
But there were like
So
few uncles here and there, like who
sure,
were
sure.
mid 40s, mid 50s, and yeah, there were a few youngsters as well. But again, all of us were really chilling and okay, we come here, we come every day 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, play for an hour,
Very
head out,
cool.
eat something, and then go back home. So
Yeah.
that's how I started off playing table tennis and then moving into pickleball.
How did pickleball, going from just playing on one, I'm pretty curious on like who introduced it at the gym there? Why? Where did they see it? What made them get the equipment or even offer it? And then two, when did it go from a casual something to do in the afternoons to something more serious for you?
Yeah. So there are two stories to it again. So one which was told to us very early on was there's a 80-year-old uncle who started this sport in Gymkhana,
Okay.
but at that point of time, no one took him too seriously. So that started, and then it just ended. Like people didn't show up, and people didn't actually take it seriously. So
Yeah.
they had to shut it down. But again, when that court had started, there were a few people who were really playing, like probably four, five of them,
Sure.
and they really loved it. So after it closed down, they themselves they thought about why don't we again try to begin this thing.
Yeah.
So there were a few people who said that let's do it, even if it's for like 2 hours, 3 hours, if they allow us.
Yeah.
We would like to start it off and play. And once people see us play, they will automatically start playing.
Yeah.
So that is the story behind it, that there were few people, and this was only in the morning, and I used to
Got it.
play in the evenings.
Yeah.
So
Was that the first? Do you think that was kind of the first pocket of pickleball in Mumbai, or was there
no,
stuff going on in other places?
there was stuff going on. So there were a couple of courts in the eastern part of Mumbai. There was one in the suburbs,
Got it.
but not like people hadn't heard about it at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I actually came to know when it got introduced in the club, but there was pickleball going on
Just a couple
outside.
little pockets, though. Not very.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 2-3 courts max, not more than
Got
that.
it. Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, so in Mumbai, as far as I remember, it did get introduced in 2015, I think. 2015, 2016.
Sure.
Few courts here and there. There were a few courts in other parts of India, and there were players playing.
Yeah.
But in Mumbai, I think it's 2015.
Got it. Cool. And what led you from that? From the casual play in the gym to like taking it more seriously.
So once I began and all other players started to see that there are players playing pickleball, from a group of six to eight players, there were about 18 players now. In like once we started, if I started in October or November, in December there were 18, and in
Okay.
January, February it grew up to like I think 30 odd.
So it was growing
And
fast.
all of us wanted that time slot of 6 o'clock, 6 p.m.
And just one court, right?
and just one court.
Yeah. It's tough.
So, yeah. So all of us, used to come 6 to 7. There are 12 people waiting. 7 to 8, there are 12 people waiting,
Yeah.
and we started playing off. So there were two people actually who told me that your game is really good and you should try to play with the players who play in the morning, because
Mm,
morning players have played a couple of tournaments, and they started the whole pickleball thing in the club, and they are good players, so you should
sure.
try playing with them, because here it's just you know uh, recreation. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's not a bad idea, let me try.
Yeah.
So I was the one who was selected, and there was one more boy. So it was like,
You
you
guys
all should go.
graduated from the evening to the
Yeah,
morning
yeah,
group. Yeah.
yeah. So I'll bring y'all. I'll get y'all tomorrow a slot in the morning, and tell them to play with you. I was like, okay, let's get tomorrow. Let's get there tomorrow morning. We went there, and no one was ready to play with us.
They weren't gonna. Like, you
Yeah,
guys aren't good enough yet. No.
yeah. No, I don't know if they saw us also, but they're like, no, we aren't
So you
playing with
just did you just sit there and watch?
yeah. We were sitting there and watching, and yeah. But then there was one guy in the morning who said that I'll train y'all. I'll tell y'all how the game is played. So he gave us a very basic introduction. The next day he called us. He said that don't worry, I'll tell y'all. So he called us, and then he told us very basic things, that this is the kitchen. After
Yeah.
returning, you have to get inside the kitchen as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Get your serves deeper. This is called a third shot. This is because that before that there was nothing called
You
as
guys were just
we're just not,
playing.
yeah, we're just
Yeah.
playing, we're just hitting here and there. But he did tell me that your volleys are very good. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. But he said that there are other things to the game. So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, makes sense. And he really liked my game. So he said that, you should keep playing more. We'll keep playing. I'll keep calling you all and, practicing. So that was happening for a month or so. And then there was an uncle again who used to play in the morning, and he saw my game, improve really quick. Like
Yeah.
he said that I'm playing good, and then they also came once or twice in the evening and then told that, let's partner. So he said that let's partner for a tournament coming up. I think in 2 weeks or so, and then it's a national level tournament apparently.
And
So he said,
are we in just keep the timeline intact? Are we in 2020 now, or is it a little later,
no, it's 20. It's
or 2019?
I think it should be 20. I think it's 2019 late.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it. But there
yeah.
are tournaments going on.
There are tournaments going on.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was, I think, late 2019, and he said that let's try it out. I was like, okay, let's try it out. So, and he was 40 at that time, and I was 20, and but I had played the sport before, so I know how to keep my cool,
How to
how to
compete
keep
well?
myself.
Yeah.
So I had that match temperament. So we played, and we were told. So he said that because of me and because of my connect, we have been given direct entry in main draw, and the round. I think uh, the draw is of, I think, round of 32. So we are the last seed in the whole draw. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, no problem. We'll make our way up. We'll just focus match by match. We got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So then we started off, and we apparently in the quarterfinals beat the number one seed who recently won the nationals.
Sure.
So that was a big win. And then I think the bronze medal had to be shared, because there was again only one court and 1 day tournament.
Yeah.
So we shared the bronze in that tournament. And from that point of time, because people started seeing, how I play and my
Yeah.
game and everything. And again, because it was a big upset in that
Sure.
tournament, people started saying that, you should try playing more,
Yeah. Take it a bit more seriously and yeah.
more seriously, and you never know what will happen. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll keep playing. I don't mind playing till I'm not, jeopardizing my engineering part. And
Yeah, because this at this time you're still in school, right? Yeah.
yeah, I'm doing my engineering. Yeah,
Yeah. So this is just kind of a fun thing to do on the side. That's not
correct.
table tennis. It's a new sport,
Yeah,
fun, competitive, pretty good at it already.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give 4 5 hours a day, and
Yeah.
again, maintain everything. You don't need a coach at this point of time who's going to.
Right.
You're just going out there having fun,
Yeah.
trying to see what's working, what's not working. So yeah, I think 2019 was my first tournament, medal the first tournament,
Yeah.
luckily, and then started playing tournaments back to back, and then whichever tournaments. So I think there were 2 tournaments or 3 tournaments a year.
But
Uh,
mostly just staying in Mumbai, right? You're not traveling at
all
this
Mumbai.
point. You're just everything's local. Yeah.
Right. So
Cool.
till 2020, I think everything, because again 2020 the COVID hit, so
Yeah.
there was no big tournaments that back then. And
And
then
just was COVID in Mumbai, like, you just think about Mumbai and India in general is just like people everywhere.
right.
For somebody from the U.S., a little chaotic. Um, what was COVID like? Just out of curiosity, was it quiet? Like, were people ordered to be, quarantined indoors? What was the situation?
Yeah, so the first month we were told to be quarantine indoors, and we weren't allowed to go out, step out of the house, and you know max to max what we can do is get the main essential items, groceries, and basic necessary items.
Yeah.
But the clubs were closed, everything, all shops, everything was closed, so everyone was just at their house. And probably we used to see, like, my friend used to live right opposite my building, so we used to meet on terraces because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
aren't allowed to meet. So
But it had to be unusual to see like Mumbai like quiet on the streets, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
completely, like, at that 1 month actually no one expected, but everything was just so calm and so peaceful. Like, I really enjoyed that 1 month of
Yeah.
quarantine.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Side note. Just wanted to see what it was like because yeah, I mean, I think I was just reading a book recently that talked about like when COVID hit in San Francisco, and then like there were coyotes seen on the Golden Gate Bridge, and like
Oh,
like things just quiet down, and then like yeah, it's just the odd to see like not a million cars going across it, and to see coyotes running across it, and
right.
yeah, it's just fascinating to see what these really really busy cities are like when people are forced to be inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Fascinating.
And then
But so studies were still going through COVID, I'm assuming, through the first bit of it.
yes.
When were you able to pick up pickle again?
Yeah. So after I finished my engineering, I did pick up a job through the placement process, and I did the job from, of course, online mode, work from home. So I was working for 1 year for a edtech company. But as we know, as the COVID started to phase out and things started getting better, I again started playing pickleball. And at that point of time, I also vaguely remember I did start coaching a couple of kids because they were like, we want to learn, and we want to so very
Yeah,
basic, what is a drive, what is a drop. Because at that point
sure.
of time, I figured things out, that what is a drive, drop,
Yeah,
ping,
yeah,
and volleys. So there were a few kids who started off, and then I started playing tournaments. I started meeting new players because at that point of time, again, players started emerging, and partnerships and playing
yeah,
together, and all those things started, uh, you know, coming up. So 2021, from 2020 to 2021, I was working and doing pickle.
yeah,
Again, not too serious at that point of time, but
yeah,
I was engaged in the sport. I was At that point of time, I also started figuring out my partnerships, new partnerships, what kind of tournaments I should play. I think I played a few tournaments out of Mumbai
yeah,
because I was told that you should go here. It's a very
yeah.
big one. So I went there.
And at this
And
time, how often are you watching like pickleball on YouTube? Are you watching streams? So okay, you're not even paying attention to any of that.
no,
Okay,
nothing.
got it.
Yeah. So yeah, but I did figure. For me, it was very easy to figure what the game is looking like. Like
Strategy wise, or what do you
strategy
mean?
wise, yeah,
Yeah,
strategy
yeah,
wise,
yeah.
very easy. Like for me, it was hit a third shot drop, get in the kitchen,
Use your volleys.
yeah, then you get a pop. Because at that
Yep,
point, no one was, very proficient at dinking.
yep,
So as soon as you see a, and for me, that backhand flick comes really natural. So
yeah.
I used to use that very often. So it
Oh,
was,
probably kill people with it. Yeah,
yeah. So a drop from behind, come back, come in, few shots here and there, and hit the volleys.
yeah.
So at that point of time, I figured the strategy, and it worked really good for me. And 2021, what happened was, I think the sport exploded, like exponentially. It was like people from different states, different territories, and
Yeah.
even in Mumbai, people started building courts. Players started converting from tennis to
So
pickleball,
that's
tennis to pickleball, and
that's really the same time it happened in the U.S. Obviously, it was bigger in the U.S. prior to
right.
bigger than India prior to
Yeah,
2020, 2021. But same kind of thing of where it kind of went from like a really fringe sport where not many people knew about it to
right.
oh, like now COVID's here, we can't go anywhere. Let's order on Amazon a pickleball kit and play in our driveway type deal. Was it would you attribute the growth in India to COVID on some level, or was that just by chance, you think?
Um, Honestly, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think that the sport would have exploded regardless. I think it took 1 year extra time actually. Like,
got
cause
it.
as I saw people playing the sport in 2019 and start of early 2020, people were coming in numbers like the volume was growing. Like I said, every month
So
at
a
least,
lot more, yeah,
yeah, and this is only in that one sub region of Mumbai, like Kharjim.
right, right.
So imagine if there were two courts, three courts, four courts in that
Yeah,
area, and so I think it was a matter of time and matter of awareness that pickleball would have exploded. I think COVID uh, was a hurdle, honestly, for at least in India.
yeah.
Twen-
Interesting. That's fascinating.
Yeah,
Because it was a real catalyst in the U.S. because more people learned about it and people were just buying stuff online and getting stuff that they could do at home.
Hey, have you heard of the new Play More app?
No, what is it?
Basically, the Play More app is like a stress-free scheduling app for pickleballers. So I don't know, we've struggled a lot in group text trying to organize play. You'll set it up and somebody will just like the text. And I'm like, does that actually mean you're coming or not?
Yeah, and it's like you never know how many people you have, like what rating they are. It's kind of annoying.
It can kind of just be a nightmare to
Yeah.
try to organize groups because group texts are just not fun. So basically, the Play More app lets you send out invitations. You get an RSVP list. If somebody doesn't show, there's a wait list that will actually like put somebody right into.
No way.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Dang, that's awesome. What's it called?
It's called the Play More app. So you should download it at the App Store or you can go to getplaymore.com if you want to look at it online.
Fast forward, let's go forward. You finished or you're still at the job, still playing a little pickle.
yeah.
At what point were you like, okay, maybe I could do pickle and get out of this job? Well, one, did you enjoy the work, and was it tough to leave it, or did you hate being
No,
at a computer all day?
I hated it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
okay,
I hated the work. Yeah,
got it.
but my studies weren't over yet because I have to do my masters as well.
Ah, so you're
So
so you're working, you're in school, and you're playing some pickle. Got it.
yes.
Well, your
So
parents probably hate pickle, or at the time they probably were like, "Why are you wasting your time with
100%,
this stuff?"
hundred
Yeah,
percent, 100%.
yeah,
So at that time, I finished my job by my 1 year was over, and I decided to do my masters again from Mumbai, my MBA. So I decided to leave my job, study for 3-4 months, and give a few entrances because we have to give an entrance exam. Like for abroad, it's GMAT. For here, it's going to be
yeah.
a few entrances
Sure.
for MBA. So I started giving those exams in 2021 end, and my goal was to get in the college in 2022. 2022, I got in a college, started my MBA, and at that point of time, I was still not very sure that if pickleball is going to stay, not
Of
stay,
course.
because again there are like 15 players in Mumbai, and we are playing each other since last 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the growth is there, but professionally, I have not seen people taking up the sport and competing.
Right.
So I was still not very sure. But then really big tournament happened in 2022 called the Bainbridge Cup.
Mm.
I think it was famous internationally in UK or somewhere.
Yeah.
But in that tournament, I saw a lot of international players who came to India to compete. I saw a lot of Indian players from different parts of India, from Mumbai, from different backgrounds as well, because the prize money was really big. So that was one of the main factors why people and players came to watch the sport and play the sport. So 2022 end, this cup was being played. So again, I
And
won the
this was held in India?
yes in Mumbai.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I played that. Actually, that was one of the biggest international tournaments. I think my first, I would say, international tournament which I played in Mumbai, and I played with I played with Arman that tournament. I think
Yeah.
that was the second tournament I played with him, and we won that tournament, and we beat the favorite pair. I think it was Daniel Moore and Jay Grewal.
Yeah.
So at that point of time, it was really exciting that we beat these foreign players, and Daniel, of course, he was known as the legend of the sport. At
Oh
least,
yeah.
yeah, he
It's one of the
started.
original in the US, yeah.
Yeah, one of the OGs. So it really boosted my self confidence up. Okay, now it's getting a little serious, and
Yeah.
there's something to this. So I started playing more tournaments. I started.
And was that the most prize money you've earned like in
Yes.
playing a sport?
Yes.
Or were there okay.
That was the highest prize money I had on
That
compared.
had to feel pretty cool. What
Yeah.
did your parents think about that? Like once you're like, look, I earned money doing this silly
Yeah,
sport.
they were really happy. They actually came to watch it.
Awesome.
So yeah, so there was a team event as well. So we won that as well. So everything was really good, and the atmosphere was really exciting, and my parents were. But they at the back of the mind, they also knew that I'm still studying,
Yeah.
and I'm still going to pursue this, and this is just a part of
Sure.
my small part of my life.
Yeah. Got it.
My whole career is going to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think 2022, that Bainbridge Cup, after the Bainbridge Cup, there were different entities who started taking interest in the sport.
Yeah.
Big companies, new companies, uh, celebrities, and everyone started knowing about the sport. The awareness started to spread.
Yeah,
And
there's
I
some
think
buzz now.
I think 2023 was a very a big year for pickleball in India, especially Mumbai, because
Yeah.
I saw different companies, just starting to form and make pickleball courts and start uh, hosting events and doing different things for pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the time that it was. I mean, global and prawn
Yeah.
brought me out to. I think I'm not sure when it was. Maybe October. I think it was later in 2023.
Yeah.
But I know that was my first time to Mumbai, and I was so impressed with the level. How many people were playing well? Even some of the younger kids that it was very clear that they had either watched a lot of YouTube or you taught them well, but they were like, form was really good, technique was really good. And I was just like, wow, this is a small sample size, but India can be a real force in pickleball if they want to be. So
100%.
that was a really cool time to be there because it did feel like everybody's really excited. There's a lot of buzz,
Yeah.
and ever since then, honestly, it's gotten even crazier, right?
Yeah. I think yeah, you rightly mentioned that Global and Fran and everyone started to take interest, and everyone actually. I love the fact that they started taking initiatives for the younger generation. They started taking big steps, and they had the vision to do something for the sport.
Yeah,
So yeah, without I would say I think players also are important, but if these entities and companies, if they have a good vision and they can support the whole ecosystem, I think that's always important.
yeah. I think it's probably the most important over anything else.
Right.
Especially with I always talk to Shashank at Global about this. It's what I love about pickleball and what I really connected with him on is he kind of educated me on cricket in India and
Yeah.
how some of the best players on the national team or in the IPL came from really nothing, like didn't have any money, came from very humble places, and like you're able to play street cricket and to get noticed and to like it's a very accessible sport to the whole country. And
Yeah.
he kind of connected that to pickleball, and I was like, man, that would be a really cool vision to be able to see like kids playing pickleball with a net in the street, and because you don't need much, you need a paddle, a ball, and you can even make a like they do with football or soccer, you can make a makeshift net
Right.
hit over anything. So I do love the accessibility, and I think India is such a great country to spread the sport and for it to be a real like it won't ever be cricket, but it could be a real force in terms of accessibility in
100%. Yeah.
India.
100%. Yeah. Because again, as you mentioned, the accessibility, the ease with which you can build a court. I think the equipments and everything. Of course, there are different ranges for equipment, but again, there are equipments which are affordable, and there
Yeah,
are places where you can start playing the sport. So I don't see it an issue right now.
yeah. At what point? At what point did you? At what point was it in 2023 where you were like, okay, I'm gonna step away from studies. I'm gonna step away from, or did you finish your MBA?
No, I did finish. So there
Okay,
there was no chance, there was no way
that your parents would let you not
that
complete it.
yeah,
Yeah,
cause see again, it's expensive. Like when you get in college and
yeah,
you're going for a master's degree, it's not a small amount you're going to pay for.
yeah,
So I don't think I would have ever done that. Uh, you know, Injustice, or I would say I don't think it's fair on my parents or even on my part. If
yeah.
I've started it, I'd definitely like to complete it,
Sure.
and then I would think like what do I want to do. But till that point of time, I did know that I can manage both the things.
Yeah,
It's not yet a a bigger sport where I have to leave everything and just focus on it because the competition's too high. Again, humbly speaking, at that point of time, again, the players weren't uh, too, I would say, there weren't too many, and I was nearly on the top of
yeah,
the country again.
yeah.
So I didn't have a thought of leaving or dropping out from MBA.
Got it.
So I completed my MBA in 2024. I also sat for the placements for the job interviews, and I did secure a job. And in May 2024, I had a decision to make because 2023 was really a turning point in my life in terms of pickleball,
Yeah,
because I had my first international win. I had my sponsors. I had money coming in. I had my coaching academy set up, Blaze Pickleball.
yeah,
Arman and I partnered, started a academy in 2023. We had around 15 to 20 kids under us. We had around 40 to 50 beginners, intermediate, advanced players who were there. So money was coming in. Uh, the sport was growing, fame was there, uh, skill is there, partners are there. I think everything was going really nice.
Yeah.
And at that point of time, 2023 changed a little bit, changed my mindset of, okay, now I can think of shifting.
Cool.
And but again, still, I wanted to complete my MBA, so I completed my MBA.
Yeah.
2024 May was the time where I had to take a call where should I take up this job or continue with my pickleball.
Yeah.
Again, both are decently paying. Both has its own pros and cons, and I need to take a call. Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to continue with my job and take a backseat in pickleball, or just leave the job, try playing pickleball, and experience and get exposure, and just uh, try pickleball out for 1 year.
Yeah.
So
Is that kind of what you gave you? You gave yourself a year?
I gave I told myself and I told my parents as well that I need this 1 year. I need to see where I'm standing. I need to figure out things.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair. I didn't want to take a very hasty call saying that no, I will not do a job, or no, I
Yeah.
will not play pickleball.
Yeah.
Because again, till 2024 May, again, it wasn't. I think we played the Indian Open at that point of time.
Yeah.
In Feb. So
That's
that
right.
was one of the biggest tournaments we witnessed in India, and I think in overall Asia, in terms of prize money, in terms of the best men's doubles pair coming in, you, Andre, and everyone from
Yeah.
APP guys
There's
coming in.
a lot of APP players that came to that one,
A lot
so
of
it was a
APP
good
And,
it was a good barometer on where you're at level wise.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the first big major tournament which we saw in terms of everything. And
Yeah.
that got me thinking that, okay, now I think this year, if at least 3 of these tournaments, if it takes place and if I perform decently well enough, I think
Yeah.
I can make my way in. So yeah, I did take a call of dropping the job and getting full time in it.
And did you feel like you mentioned not making a hasty decision, and I think giving yourself a year is a good timeline.
Yeah.
Were you concerned that you would or did you have confidence that you could get a job? Let's say pickleball didn't work out over that year. Were you confident that you could come back and get a job?
Yeah, I think I was confident because I already worked for a year, and being an engineer and an MBA in marketing, I think it wouldn't have been a big issue for me. I would have, again, I don't think it's an issue again if I say that I wanted to explore this path. Again, if I go for a job interview, if someone asks me, I can. 1 year is a time where I think it's fair enough for me to give it a try.
100%.
And if I'm good at it and if I'm at the top at it, why not?
Yeah.
So I was confident that I would make it. Even if it's not pickleball, I would get a decent job and get a living, make a living out.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Indian Open at the beginning of 2024, where Andre and I played you and Harsh in the final. Again, probably that must have been the biggest tournament in India at the time, I would imagine, up to that date. And then after that, you make the decision, okay, we're going to give it a go for a year.
Right.
And then I believe you and a group come over to the U.S. You guys play the U.S. Open. So kind of walk me through that experience. Was that your first time? Yeah, it was your first time coming over for pickleball. Was that your first time over at all?
Yeah, that was my first trip to the US. And we came as a group, as a global sports, team. And of course, it was credit to them that they managed to get all of us there, getting the visas done, getting everything sorted out, and getting our entries in. So that was my first time to the US, and I think I was really, really stoked to see. I think there were 60, 70 odd courts.
Yeah, the Naples is huge. It's such a big facility.
Yeah, and I was like, this is unreal. Like first time to US, and this is like a dream come true for a true pickleball player who's
Yeah.
wanting to play professionally, and we've never seen a setup like this before. So it was really nice. It was really different. The whole game level was different. The whole pace was different. But yeah, it was really exciting for me. And of course, I was really a little bit stressed that first time, and I need
A little
to
pressure and like pressure on yourself that you're placing probably to do well, and you
Correct.
just you decided to take this year, so it's like even more pressure to do well.
Yeah. And of course, there's someone who's shown faith in me, brought me here.
Yeah.
And my parents back here, they are uh, under pressure, thinking that what will happen, and
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out. So everything was there, but yeah, we've come there to perform, and I think we did pretty decent over there as well. We came fifth overall.
Yeah.
Made to the main draw, lost in the round of 16, but made it through the back draw and came fifth. So
Yeah.
was
I mean,
a
that,
playing different players, and yeah.
I think that's the most fun about going to the international tournaments is just you see different players, you see different shots, different balls, different patterns. Like you get it, especially being in Mumbai where you see the same players, same balls over and over. So
Right.
I remember first traveling for pickleball, and I was like, man, this is like I'll play rec all day just to see different balls. Like this is fun.
Right.
But okay, very cool. So you played U.S. Open. Was that just one tournament and then you went back, or did you play a couple?
Yeah, no, we just played one tournament.
Got it.
That was
Got it. So went back. Now I think this is so we're talking mid 24, just about a year ago, essentially.
Yeah.
U.S. Open's coming up here again in 2025. What has the year been like? Because now we're at that year mark essentially, maybe a little over it. What's the last year been like?
Yeah, so I think after
Do you have a job? Is the question. I'm just
No.
kidding. Engineering's in the rear view.
Yeah. So again, 2024 was a really, actually, I would say it was a really good year for me in terms of achievements, in terms of even getting sponsorships, in terms of getting my name out there as a pickleball player, and even coaching terms. So playing the US Open, then we played the English Open, then we played a couple of tournaments in Asia, a couple of WPCs here and there. We played the Monsoon Open. So the tournament started to, the number of tournaments we played started to increase. The number of podium finishes were more. And I think the self-confidence, the attitude towards the game, the discipline towards the game started to increase, I would say, day by day. And I think I was just locked in after, making up my mind that I'm going to do this full time now.
Yeah.
And 1 year is just, it can't be on my mind that I've got only 1 year.
Yeah.
But my main goal is that I'm going to be, if I'm doing it, I want to be the best at it.
Sure.
So that's the only way I'm going to start improving and making my way in. So I played all these tournaments, made decent runs at it, had good podium finishes. 2024 end, I think there were a couple of big things announced for the players.
Yeah.
I got in contractual agreement with Top Notch. I signed with Top Notch Management to manage me, and then I started looking out for different brand deals, paddle sponsorships, and landed a deal with Yola in January 2025. So I think
How big of a deal was that for you in terms of making the decision? Was that kind of just like, okay, all of the like sacrifice, commitment, turning, not going to the job, like was that kind of the moment for you, where you're like, okay, I can do this full time?
It was totally worth it.
Yeah, cool.
Like from the bottom of my heart, I would say I think everything, every decision, the sacrifice of not taking up the job, and convincing my parents and convincing myself, and everything was totally worth the fight, were totally worth the wait, because I think it happened to be that my path, which I thought, it should have been this way,
Yeah.
like, constantly, steadily growing. For me, luckily, it was really, stooping upwards, and I didn't expect things to go that way, but luckily, and again, I did put in my efforts. So it did go my way, and much more than I expected. So really worked out for me, and I was really happy that I landed a paddle sponsorship deal. I had my parents supporting me at that point of time. I had
Yeah.
multiple things, multiple tournaments, to play at. The prize money pool, of course, as we know, that we started off like $1,000, and now it's like $1,000 for the whole tournament, and now it's like $5,000 for one event.
Yeah.
So all those incentives, all those facilities, all those resources started to, make things more exciting and make things more lucrative for all the players.
Yeah, well, your parents played a big role in getting you in table tennis at a young age, because that's, I mean, without table tennis, would you think you're still where you are right now? No way, right?
No.
Yeah.
I think this, because people think that this sport is really easy, but the learning curve is not like, if you have a racket background, then it's going to be a little easier for you, like if you're a tennis player, table tennis player, badminton. But
Yeah.
if you haven't played it, it's not that easy to, start playing a sport really professionally. I think it's going to take at least 2-3 years for you to get to know the game, have a game sense, and learn the strokes and everything. So yeah.
And obviously having a competitive table tennis or tennis racket sports background helps. It'll accelerate it, but at the same time, there's still a lot of nuance in pickleball that just you can't cheat it. You can't cheat the reps you need. You can't cheat the touch and the feel. So yeah, no matter what, it's going to take time. And if you don't have a racket sports background, those are the people that I'm always like, man, like this is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Especially if you've played, especially if you're at an older age or something like that, maybe like a Callan Dawson. But like I think the kids now, there's like kids coming up that are like their first racket sport was pickleball.
Yeah.
They're 17, 16 now, but they started playing when they were 10, 12.
Yeah.
Like pickleball is your racket sport. It's like, no, you didn't play racket sports, but you're also 8. So like you're growing up playing pickleball, which is your racket sport, which I think that's probably the, I don't know. I think probably just playing pickleball from a young age is probably the most advantageous. I mean, there's obviously, you have through table tennis, really nice, like quick short motion with volleys and your flick. With tennis, there's a lot of crossover with touch, feel, court sense, awareness, like where to go. But so there's some pros, but there's also a lot of habits you have to probably break. What were some habits from table tennis that you had to break going into pickle?
I think it was my forehand action, which I had to tweak a little, because table tennis has a motion from back to forward and front, whereas in pickleball, because the whole spin angle is a little different over here. The ball doesn't actually spin a lot on the surface.
Yeah.
Whereas table tennis has different.
It's grippy. Yeah.
It's grippy, and the rubbers help you get reps on the ball. But so the main point for me was my forehand action. So I had to tweak that action from getting it from far off behind to ending it here is going to be really short and compact, and more like a jab rather than a spin.
Yeah.
So in terms of volley, that was it. I think drives was something I was really bad at when I started.
The longer stroke.
The longest stroke. The ground strokes I was really bad at. So it took time for me to hit a proper forehand drive. Like I actually had to learn the technique of getting
like a tennis stroke.
Yeah, it's like a tennis stroke. So I don't really know how does the footwork even work.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, because it's really different in table tennis. So I had to see tennis players how they play. I had to learn from a few other players. Of course, uh, Arman helped me, and there were a few other people who helped me how to hit. Like by just even while just seeing them how they hit,
Yeah,
I think it's a big advantage to see the right technique and just try to then keep drilling on it and replicate it in your own game.
yeah.
So I think drives and the forehand volley was one of the main things I had to work on while
Got it.
transforming.
Yeah, no matter what sport you come from, there's going to be things that are good for pickle and also bad for pickle. So,
100%.
what this has been super fun getting to know your background and your kind of your story and entry into pickle and where you're at. It's probably pretty cool thinking back. If I'm you, thinking back to some of those evenings at the hardwood floor at the gym in 2019 to think about like now you doing it full time, having a paddle sponsor, being able to travel internationally to play a pro sport essentially. I mean,
Yeah.
how cool is that?
Oh my God. I actually remember when you say that when you talked about paddle sponsor. So I told this story to my mom that day that when I started off I had borrowed a paddle from an uncle saying that can I please borrow this paddle, and at that point of time he said that you please take this paddle. This is a second hand paddle, like, and you can buy, this is for you. So I was like, okay, how much do I pay? And I had to pay 3,000 rupees at that point of time for the paddle. And then I wasn't really my mom and dad also weren't really at that point of time wanted me to play. So asking them for the money and then later on while I was playing professionally, buying 20 grand paddles over here, it's expensive. Like paddles get
Yeah,
expensive to start progressing ahead, and waiting for that one big savings and then going out there and then buying that paddle which you wanted to buy. At that point of time it was the Invicta uh, paddle which everyone was behind.
yeah.
So I saved that money, I bought that paddle, and I was like, I'm not going to play it a lot because then if it gets
You don't want to
uh,
wear the paddle out. Yeah,
I don't want to wear the paddle out because I don't have another savings to take buy another paddle. And from that stage to right now, if someone asks me for a paddle, I'm at that point of you know stage where I can actually give him the paddle for free of cost and just tell them to you go ahead and play with the paddle, this is
yeah,
yours. So that is the journey. I was just telling my mom that it's really, I feel good about it
yeah,
when I started, how I started, and what's it like right now for me. So that's a really good memory for me, actually. I really
yeah.
love it. It brings
This is-
smile on my face, thinking that this actually was me 2 years back, and right now I'm at a place where I can do whatever in terms of paddle or clothes or whatever I want. So
yeah. So, and it's allowed you to play full time and practice full time and really get like you said to get as good as you can get at the sport, which
yeah,
is really cool.
100%.
So amazing journey. What are your looking forward, to the through the end of this year, and into the next few years, really? What are your goals with pickleball? What are your goals with the sport? Do you ever see a path where you'd be playing in the U.S. touring full time, or are you
Yeah.
just waiting to see where the sport goes?
No, so my again, as we know that USA is like right now the hub of the best pickleball players and number one tour right now over there. So definitely this year, my whole plan is to get in more tournaments in the US, play as many tournaments I can. Again, in US, outside USA, wherever possible. And as we all know that even players from USA are coming in, different
Yep.
different regions. Like I think PP Australia right now happened, where there were players coming in
Yep.
and coming from US. And I think the sport is growing is growing globally now. So it's not going to be that the whole sport is only confined to USA. I am definitely planning to play a lot of tournaments, but I'm hoping that there are bigger tournaments going ahead in Asia, Australia, UK, and players from all part of the world come and play that tournament, and everyone gets that opportunity to play with every kind of player, not
Yeah.
confined to your specific state or a region or a country.
Sure.
So yes, USA is the short term goal for now, but long term I am hoping that I get to play in every region and get to play with every sort of player I can.
Yeah, and it's probably a great opportunity for you to travel too, right? Like
Yeah,
what a cool thing, because it sounds like table tennis was mostly in India.
in India, yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
So now, yeah,
while I was in engineering, I think I had traveled only to one country, which was Singapore. I had my family trip, and
yeah.
after 2022, after 2023, I would say I've traveled to almost like 10 to 12 countries in 1 year, 1.5 years. So
Not going to do that
that,
in an engineering job, Harsh.
no, never.
So so
So
very cool, man. Really, yeah, really inspiring for anybody probably listening to know that short 5 years going from a hardwood floor, not knowing what the sport was,
yeah,
to having a paddle deal, to being able to play professionally, internationally. Really, really cool story, and appreciate you sharing it with us, man.
no, 100%. And don't forget, Rob, that uh, I have been invited by Rob Nunnery for a podcast. So this is one of the
You've really done
milestones.
it now. Yeah.
This is one of the milestones. Also,
Oh, get out of here.
I've definitely uh, put in my achievements. Like
No,
so,
you're silly, but this is it's been a lot of fun, and it's been just good getting to know your story a little bit more. And we've known each other for a little while now, but I didn't know most of that, so it's been really nice just hearing it and hearing your journey. And I think a lot of people will find some inspiration in it. So thank you.
definitely. Thanks, Rob. Thank you so
All right,
much for having me.
and best of luck in the U.S. tournaments.
Definitely. I'll see you soon.
Got it.